Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the embroidery machine. So don't go anywhere, okay? Okay, so you just got your brand new to you embroidery machine, and this time we're going to be talking about Tajima embroidery machine. And it can be a little intimidating. Actually, it's very intimidating. But one of the things that is probably the most intimidating about an embroidery machine, and this is if you're a newbie, if you're just barely starting embroidery, or you want to get into this venture, okay? So one of the things will be the threads. Because you have a bunch of threads, right? For example, this is a 12 needle or 12 color or 12 thread. If you have a 15, if you have a 6, 9, 12, again 15, 18, everything's the same when it comes to threading the machine. So don't be scared. It's very easy. Again, it's just kind of intimidating. So let me get into the threading. And again, this part is going to be just for the Tajima threading the machine. And most of the machines, about 98% of the machines are the same. So you're going to be threading them the same. There's a little variations on some machines. So let me show you how to thread the machine, okay? Okay, so all the machines, like for example, my machine is a 6 head. But all the machine, it doesn't matter if it has 1 head, 2 heads, 4 heads, 8 heads, 6 heads, 15, 20, 24 heads. It doesn't matter. They all going to have one. They all have these little deals, right? There's little holes where the thread goes through, and they all gonna have one that is a different color. In this case is red. Some of them you see that have a black or blue color hole. So that's gonna tell you that that's the first head, this one right here. So you want to take your thread, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that thread, I'm gonna cut it, so that way I can show you how to run your thread through there. I'm gonna take it out so you guys can see everything. As you can see, my machine is already threaded. So you're gonna grab your thread, and in this case is royal blue. I don't know if you can see it, probably can't, but trust me, it's royal blue. And what you want to do is you want to thread it through that little red hole from the back. So let me zoom in. Oh, that's it. Okay, so what you want to do, let me see if you can see this thread. Trust me, it's there, right there. There you go. So you want to cut the thread, and then whenever you cut the thread, take your scissors, and then when you cut the thread, don't pull the thread. Just kind of let the thread rest on the scissors, and then cut it. I know you cannot see the threads or the scissors so out of focus, but okay, we're gonna take the thread, and we're gonna go behind the hole, and we're gonna thread it through. Okay, it's already through there. Just pull it, and this is as far as I can zoom in. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this first tension knob, and we're gonna go through there. Okay, so you got to go through that one hole on the top. Grab your thread. Trust me, the thread is right there. I know you cannot see it. And then this tension knob has 2 little rings. I don't know if they're right there. So there's a ring behind it and another one in front of it. The thread has to go, you gotta sandwich the thread between it. So see, now the thread has been sandwiched in between. Again, it's very hard to see the thread. And now you gotta run I'm gonna be saying thread a lot. Run the thread through the bottom hole. And this time, see, on this one you go from the back, sandwich it in between the tension knob, the rings, and then now you're gonna go in from the front to the back, threading it, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, so on this one it's gonna be the same thing. If you notice, the thread is right there because I cut it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull this thread completely out so there's nothing on the machine. So if you notice, this machine doesn't have a straw. Usually you'll see on some machines they have a little straw or this little curly looking thing, but it looks like a straw that goes from here to the other tension knob. Mine is a little older machine, So I don't have that. If you have one of the newest machines, you're gonna see that. But the deal is the same. You go from the back, and again, it's probably gonna be impossible for you to see the thread. But you go from the back, run it through the hole, and then again you have those rings. You can see them on this one better, but there's a let me take it off so you can see it. That way you know what I'm talking about. And this is for those of you that are new to embroidery. So there's your tension knob right here, and then it has a spring, and then there's that disc that I was telling you about, or rings, and there's the other one. So it's going like that, and the thread is going to be sandwiched in between those two. I'm going to put those back, and this will be the second tension thread knob. So the other one that we did earlier, that's your first one. Okay, so now I got my thread running through the rings, or in between the two rings, and then I'm gonna run the thread through that little hole and pull it out. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here, because when I was talking about the machine having the little straw looking thing right here, your machine is gonna be a little different right here. It's gonna have kind of like a teeter-totter tension thing right here. It's gonna be like a little piece of metal, and you're gonna have to lift it up and run the thread through there. So this one doesn't have it. So now we're gonna run it into this one, right? Oops, that's the second one. Make sure you're going to the correct one, right? So we're working with with needle number 1. Okay, so now we're gonna run the thread down, right? And I removed the tension knob to show you where it's gonna go. You're gonna see that piece of felt right there, and this one is dirty. I need to clean it. And it has another piece of felt, but if you see this wheel, this one doesn't come apart. It looks just like the one on top, but this one, it's all together. So your thread is gonna go one whole circle, and then on the half, you're gonna catch it back in this little spring. Now, going back on the machine that I was telling you, it has like a straw. It might not have this. It's not gonna have this tension up. That's why I took it out, because your machine probably just looks like. Let me remove this. Your machine is gonna look just like that, because it doesn't need the tension up. This one does. So, but the principle is the same. So I'm gonna put that back in there. It's a spring. Again, your machine may not have that. Again, I'm not gonna be touching about anything about the tension, okay? Because we're just threading. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that the thread goes in between that wheel that I was showing you earlier. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. You see the wheel, how it's moving? Yeah, so that's my full circle, and I go around, and then I'm gonna catch it on this spring right here. And then this little deal right there. Okay, so now we already ran the thread through the tension knob, and right here I got too much thread. You don't have to cut it. I'm just gonna cut it so it's easier on the video. And this is what I'm talking about. When you go to cut a thread, don't pull on it, don't tug on it. Put the scissors or the thread on the scissors, and then just cut it. In this case, are snips, and then run it through the first hole right there. And then it's gonna go all the way down, about halfway down. You're gonna loop it through there. This step right here, I'm gonna stop on this step. This, like I was saying, this machine is an older version. This is a 98. So if you have a newer machine, you're not gonna have this right here. What you're gonna have, it's gonna be a bar that goes across like that, and it has this little like a tension knob right here, where you can bring it down and you can pull it up. That's a spring. So you'll see how this is gonna go through there, and you'll see this little spring right here that goes through the spring and then comes right back up. This is what I'm doing right now. So then bring it back up, and then push it down through that hole again, not the one that you did, okay? On yours, you're not going to have this one. On the newer ones, you're not going to have that one. But you are going to have this little hole. And just bring it down. And remember, we're working with needle number 1. So that's very important that you stay with the one needle. And it's, if you're going to start threading either from this end or this end. And keep on going. Don't thread this one and then jump to the center. Stay in one, you know, from one side to the other. Okay, so once you ran the thread down, now we got to run it. Remember, we're working with needle number 1. And you just run it through that little hole. Again, your machine is going to have different, it might be a slightly different right here and here. So then you grab your thread and then kind of grab it like this, your thumb and your middle finger, and then your index finger is going to be pushing the thread behind it. Let me see if you can see it. You see the thread kind of cutting the tip of my finger? You're going to push it, and you see this right here? That's a hook. So the thread has to go behind the hook. So that's why you grab it with your index finger and see the thread's already behind it. I know it's really hard, but it's you can see it right there. Okay, so now all you gotta do is run it through the needle or thread it through the needle. Just like that. And then you're done. The thread, trust me, it's in there. It's just really hard to see it. And then just grab it and put it back on this spring right here. There might be some small variations of the machine where you don't have, again, this, like for example, this spring right here that catches the thread, and then that'll be it. I mean, now what you got to do is just keep on going, and from this side to that side, or from the other side to this side. Again, don't go from here and then jump to number 6. Go to 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4. Just like that. Keep it all in one sequence. Also, make sure that when you're doing this, when you're threading the machine, make sure the machine is off. You don't need the machine to be running for this. So leave it off. Okay, so that's it. It's very easy. That's how easy it is to thread the machine. I know it seems a little intimidating because there's a lot of loop-de-loops and stuff that you have to do. Don't worry about it. If you do it wrong, the machine will not run. When you go to sew or embroider, it'll just stop because you did it wrong. And then if you did it wrong, just go ahead and start the video from the beginning, watch it again, pause it, and make sure you get it done right the first time. Thank you for watching, guys. This is the end of the video. This is it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, which you will have a ton of questions when it comes to embroidery. That's if you're new to embroidery. If you do have any questions, please post them on the comments below or send me an email, libertygraphicdesigns@gmail.com. Thank you, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later now.